but they are not going to die, है ना. सोल का न हन्नते हन्ने माने शरीर है ना. The soul can not be killed and body cannot be saved. तो ये भगवान ने उसका कंपैशन आर्ग्यूमेंट जो था अर्जुन का, जो फर्स्ट चैप्टर में उसने दिया था, उसको काउंटर भगवान ने किया आइडेंटिटी का सेक्शन 2.11 टू 2.30 31. तो आज हम लोग जो पढ़ने वाले हैं वो क्या है, GIT. टी है टू नेचर्स, TWO, टू नेचर्स, दो नेचर हैं हमारे, है ना. एक क्या है नित्य धर्म, एक है स्वधर्म. तो इसके बारे में भगवान ने बताया है इस सेक्शन में, और इस सेशन में अल्केश जी बताएंगे हमको वो जो भगवान ने बताया है अर्जुन को. ठीक है. तो अल्केश जी बहुत टाइम से प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं, और हमारे कॉलेज के बहुत अच्छे फ्रेंड हैं, IIT कानपुर, हम लोग सेम बैच में थे, और फिर ये जापान चले गए. जापान में इन्होंने बहुत सेवा किया. तो करीब अभी मुझे लगता है 15 साल तो हो गया होगा ना अल्केश जी, 14-15 साल से. तो 14-15 साल से ये प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं, और इन्होंने हिज होलीनेस कविचंद्र गोस्वामी जो प्रभुपाद जी के शिष्य हैं उनसे दीक्षा भी लिया है ना. तो GI ये सेटिस्फाई कर रहे हैं कंडीशन, तो इसलिए T के बारे में ये बोल सकते हैं, है ना. तो ये हम इनसे सुनेंगे अल्केश जी से, या फिर जय हरि नाम प्रभु जो इनका दीक्षित नाम. ठीक है. चलिए अल्केश जी, हरे कृष्णा.
Thank you, Chandru. Thank you. I will try my best. This is first time I am giving session in Bhagavad Gita. Although I have given lots of session in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam in Japan, I'm the regular speaker over here. But first time giving to Indian audience. Usually I speak to the Japanese audience over here. But let's see. Yeah, I will give my best. So first, today we are going to cover Bhagavad Gita 2.31, chapter 2. Chapter 2 is as Chandresh mentioned. This is the Gita summarize, right? So let me put it in the presentation. Yeah, you can see it, right? Yep. So the chapter 2 is the Gita summarize. So whole Bhagavad Gita Krishna has spoken in very short in the chapter 2. So in the chapter 2 you can have the glimpse of the Bhagavad Gita very quickly, and then approximately everything Krishna has touched, that Krishna will speak in Bhagavad Gita in the detail later from the chapter 3 onwards. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has touched it in the chapter 2, right? So chapter 2, now we are in the 2.31. I will try to cover from 31 to 38. Okay. Here Krishna is teaching Arjuna about the swadharma, or the duty that the Arjuna should execute. So let's read the Sanskrit first, the 2.31. And you can all chant, you can all read the Sanskrit sloka with me. Swadharmam api choveksha na vikam arhasi dharmadhya yuddhat cheriyo anyat satriyasya na vidyate. Okay, so here that if you directly go to the translation over here, you can see that Krishna told to Arjuna, or considering your specific duty as a Kshatriya, you should know that there is no better engagement for you than fighting on religious principle, and so there is no need of hesitation. So as if you have read the purport over here, Krishna is telling very detailed to Arjuna about the duty that the Kshatriya should execute. Usually people in general think that okay, non-violence is the best practice, right? People, but what is usually we are being taught, but that depend on the varna, that depend on the people. So for the Kshatriya, which is considered the arm of Lord Vishnu in the material universe, because we have the four varna. We have Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. We all know, right? We have the four varna. So Brahman comes from the mind, or from the or you can say upper part of the material form of the Lord Vishnu, right? And Kshatriya comes from the arms, like the execution, right? And then like the protection. And Vaishya comes from the thigh, and Sudra comes from the leg. So for the Kshatriya, is the main duty of a Kshatriya to protect the people. Like, so that's why you can see in the purport is been given that that the Kshatriya means one who give protection from the any harm. It's called Kshatriya. So Chhatra means giving hurt, and Trayate means to give protection. So for Kshatriya's main duty is to give protection. So we should not be, if there is any chance for for the Kshatriya to give protection to the people, he should not be away from that duty. This is one of his main duty. And of course, for the Kshatriya, in order to execute that, he go to the forest, he do the lots of practice, and and then prepare themselves on the on the battlefield. So but okay, but the that's why Krishna here is encouraging Arjuna that he should fight, and on the GS principle, not don't fight just for your own, enjoyment or something. He should fight for on based on the religion, and there should not be any hesitation. So of course, here the two kind of swadharma is been mentioned over here. Swa means khud, like the what do you call, like the myself. Dharma means the duty, right? So if there are two duties that is assigned to us, once we are in this material body, means once we are not liberated, then we have to perform our prescribed duties that everybody is supposed to have. That called varnashram. Varna plus ashram. Varna, as you mentioned, we have four varna: Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. And ashram means the stage. Means we have the four ashram. We have brahmacharya, grihastha, and vanpras, and sannyasa. So based on where we are, which varna and which ashram we are, we have to do our duties properly. So that's called our swadharma. And of course, once we give up our body, and then we are liberated, then we have the one more dharma. Then we have the dharma that will uh, to uh, do for the Krishna, like the that's our spiritual dharma, right? So as long as we are into this material body, we should execute our varnashram dharma, and that is what Krishna is here telling to Arjuna, that you should engage in the fighting based on dharma, not and there should not be any hesitation. So that's the proper Kshatriya's duty that Krishna is now trying to convey this to Arjuna. Anyone have any questions on this or any comment? So we can go to the next sloka.
उसका आपने ये संधि विच्छेद कैसे बताया था क्षत्रिय का?
Chat means heart. You can say chat means heart, and one who give protection from any harm. Or heart is called Kshatriya, means trayate, to give protection.
धन्यवाद.
Yeah, you can see.
राकेश जी, एक बार ये वर्ण आश्रम और बताइएगा. वर्ण आश्रम आपने जो बोला.
See, one ashram is designed by the Krishna himself, the Supreme God himself. So Varna means we have the four Varna, right? Nowadays people say caste, but caste, there's no word of caste. Caste is a basically Western media or Western propaganda word. We have divided ourselves in many castes, but there is no caste. We have the Varna. Based on our nature, the one cannot execute all kind of things, right? See, in the Satyuga, there is no Varna. Satyuga, everybody is Paramhansa. So everybody is qualified to meditate on Krishna. So that's the Satyuga. Varna comes from the Treta Yuga. So Treta Yuga is little bit degraded, everything divided into the three. We have the Jnana, we have the um, uh, Jnana Bhakti or Karma Bhakti, and also we have Jnana Kanda, Karma Kanda. So or the Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga. So everything divided into the three, into the Treta Yoga. That's why it's called Treta, three. So in the Treta Yoga, the Varna concept God has been designed that one person cannot do everything. It's not possible. And one person is not qualified enough to meditate on Krishna. So based on his nature, he is prescribed to some specific duty or the specific way of life, you can say. Like the Brahmanas are specified for to have the very minimum, the material needs. He can live on the begging and all the other way, or the teaching, or the doing the yagyas, and he can do the and then he should worship God, and then he should do all kind of puja, he should study the Veda, and then he can help people in a general for the spiritualization. This is the Brahmana's work. Kshatriya, on the other hand, has been given the duty to protect the people, like king or the army and all that. And then other hand, and then we have Vaishya, who is doing the more business activities like trading and all that, and Sudras, who is helping Vaishya and then Kshatriya. So for these all four varna is designed, and if people in each varna is doing their duties very perfectly, they will all four varna will go for the liberation. So basically all four varnas people will be spiritualized. It's not about only the Brahmana will get spiritualized and then Sudra will be stay into the lower order. No, if the Sudra will help, will do his duties very perfectly, he will also become more spiritualized. So that's the way it's been designed. In fact, people say Sudra very low, but Sudra also have very good high standard of of the living. Nowadays, what way people can see, like Malaysia, they are all like the outcast. They are not even in the Varna system. So that's the way it's been designed, and the the focus of that case, that almost 70 to 80% people are focused on the spiritual knowledge or the or sort of spirituality. Only 20 to 30% people only focus on the business activities, or they are earning money, and then those who are earning money, they also donate it for the dharma, for the charity. But most of population of the people, they are more focused on the spiritual growth, because that's the actual aim. Someone who cannot focus on spiritual growth, so then they can earn the money through business activity, and they help in the dharma activities, and they also getting benefit of it. But now it's just opposite. Right now only 5 to 2 or 3% of the people on the spiritual growth, and 95, or you can say 98% are just behind the money. That's why we have lots of problems. We have the also of like the resource problem, our use of the resource, or the or people are exploiting the resource and all that. But that time, money earning is not a big deal. It's not like the very big thing that you have earned the money. No, the more good point is how much you are spiritually, how much you have taken growth in your spiritual journey. So that was the main purpose of the Varna. So that's why it's been designed, and then plus ashram, we have a matrix. Okay, Varna, you can say maybe on the y-axis, and then maybe on x-axis you can put it the ashram. Like each Varna has to go through this four ashram, right? First is the brahmacharya, where people go to the gurukula, they have study the Veda, or the study the spiritual science, and then everybody is equal. There is no like I am rich, I am the poor. They all per person are being treated like the equally, like the people from the like the kings, the son of the kings, a son of all kind of The people in general, they all go for the Gurukula, and then they take the education according to their varna. Like the Kshatriya person, they focus more on the fighting skills. Brahmana, they focus more on the studying the Veda and how to worshipping, how to worship and all that. So based on their varna, they focus on their skills. The that's the brahmacharya. Then they execute. Okay, then we transit to the grihastha ashram, where they whatever they have learned, whatever they have learned, they are going to actually implement it. So people go for the farming, people go whatever they prescribe, varna, they execute in that fashion, and they get married, they have the children and all that. Like they do all kind of home activity. Then they go with the Vanaprastha, where you give up the attachment to your children. So whatever attachment to children we have, then we should give up and make your children also stable, and then give up your attachment, and then focus on your spiritual journey, and do the preaching activities, and educate the people in general. And then finally go for the sannyasa, where you give up everything, all kind of social life, and you fully meditate and focus on Krishna. So those are four ashramas are made, and four varnas are made by the design of the Krishna, and so that everybody will will be benefited, and everybody will have the spiritual realization. Of course, in this Kali Yuga, we can say it's been very much broken. Actually, Srila Prabhupada say we all are Sudra in this Kali Yuga. So actually, because we all are the ignorant. Sudra means we are ignorant, we don't know. That's that harsh reality. No one is a harsh, very qualified Brahmana in one sense, but because Brahmana means person who know everything in this what's happening. Very difficult to find someone who is a true qualified Brahmana. Same is true with the Kshatriya. Now the difficult situation come, many person like the run away from that situation, like the battlefield. Because and Vaishya people say, but Vaishyas, they are more not even doing Vaishya duty even properly. They just try to cheat money from others. And most of us, we are Sudra, so we should understand it, and we should and then we should elevate ourselves with the proper with help of the proper knowledge to the higher realization. That's what we are trying to do. We read Bhagavad Gita very sincerely, with the help of the devotees and all, like the highly specialized person. So these are, varna and ashramas. It's been, you can see in the Srimad Bhagavatam, it's been very detailed described by Krishna himself. When Krishna asked this question, when the Yudhishthira Maharaj asked this question to Krishna, when Krishna stay in his house, so Krishna has described it very in detail. Is that answer?
Yes, clear, Alkesh. Thank you.
Okay, not a problem. Thank you very much. Okay, let's go to the next sloka if you know have further questions, because all slokas 31, 32, 33, 34, 35 is all related, is all connected to the Kshatriya's duty. Okay, so let's go to the 32. Let's read the Sanskrit. Yadacharya
Chopatannam
Dwaram apar
Kshatriyaha Partha
Partha
Labhante
Kshatriyaha Partha Labhante Yuddham Idrisham. Okay, so what Krishna is saying as a translation: O Partha, happy are the Kshatriyas to whom such fighting opportunity come on sight, opening for them the doors of heavenly planets. So here Krishna is mentioned that if for Kshatriya, if there any fighting opportunity come based on the proper religious principle, then those Kshatriyas are very lucky, or those Kshatriyas are very fortunate. Why? Because they got the opportunity where they are meant to be, right? So basically Kshatriya is duty to fight, and they should not hesitate from the fighting. So like the before Arjuna refrain from the fighting, right? We have read it. Why? Because they don't want to kill their kinsman, their teacher, their grandfather, and they said that okay, I will not fight, better I should be without fighting. but that sort of the, of course, Arjuna is well versed of the of the Kshatriya dharma. He knows the Kshatriya dharma very well, but in battlefield of, uh, he become temporarily illusioned with the condition that he need to fight with his kinsman, and especially his teacher that he respect the utmost, and his grandfather that he love and then respect. So he thought, better I will not fight, and what I will gain from this fight and killing. But Krishna is encouraging that for any Kshatriya, if you get any battlefield opportunity based on dharma, then those Kshatriyas are fortunate, and then he should not be turned away from those opportunities. He should engage himself in those battlefield. Why? Because if you are fighting, so what's happened? There are two cases: either you will win or you will die. Right? There are only two cases in the fighting. So if you win, so then you will enjoy the earthly kingdom, and then you will spread the religious, the principle to the people in the jungle, or you will rule the conquered land in a much more better way based on the religious principle. That's the one. Or if you die, okay, it's happened. This is a war, right? Anything can happen, and maybe some powerful guy will come and then he can kill. So that may also happen, right? So what's happening? If you die, then you will die at a very higher consciousness. Then you will go to the heavenly planets. So for the Kshatriya, this is a win-win situation in the both cases. So for the Kshatriya, there is no point of of having an hesitation uh, to fight based on the religious principle, because this is the Kurukshetra. This is pure the fight of the dharma versus adharma. So for the Kshatriya, it's very much clear. He should fight from the dharma side. If he win, he will establish dharma. If he lose or the getting killed, he will go to the heavenly planets. But such Kshatriya, these opportunities are very rare, and then he should utilize it. That's what Krishna is telling to the Arjuna. Of course, Arjuna knows this, but he was temporarily illusioned with us with the situation. But Krishna tried to clear. Krishna tried to encourage him to fight again. Okay, any questions on this?
अनसॉर्ट मतलब अपने आप से कुछ आ जाए अगर अच्छा तो देन पार्टिसिपेट.
हाँ, मतलब अगर कोई अपॉर्चुनिटी आता है, there is some opportunity come, but that should be based on the some religious principle, right? Not like the fight just for fun, fight for your ego, fight for your sense gratification. Because if the such opportunities, like there is a very clear cut fight between dharma versus adharma, very clear cut. Okay, so then you should participate. Even in the old time, we have the many Dev Asur Sangram, right? Dev versus Devan fight happened in the old time. So even from the earth, like the Dasat Maharaj of the Lord Ram, he participated at the many times for the Dev Asur Sangram, and then he fight it from the, of course, not from the Asur side, from the Devta side, right? He fight it from Devta side, and of course, this is not his fight. This is a fight between demons versus demigods. So he should not be. He's a king on the earth, but but if such opportunities are coming even on the heavenly, like the sky, like the not on the earth, even on the sky, he went there and then fight on the Indra side, from the Dev side. So for such, for such Kshatriya, this opportunity should always participate. And here for the Arjuna, such this opportunity is just in front of him, right? The dharma side, that his side, and the adharma side, that's the Duryodhan side. This is very much clear. So there should not be any hesitation, and there should not be any two mind whether I should fight or not fight. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, 2.33. अथ चैतत्वम् इमां धर्मयं संग्रामं न
धर्मं कीर्तिं च
करिष्यसि
हित्वा
ततः स्वधर्मां प्रीतं च हित्वा पापम् अवाप्स्यसि. Okay, let's read the translation. Or if anyone else want to read, please read it. Yep.
If, however, you do not perform your religious duty of fighting, then you will certainly incur sins for neglecting your duties and thus lose your reputation as a fighter.
Yes. So here is not just the opportunity cost, like we say in the financial term, like the opportunity cost. It's not just opportunity cost. This is also he will incur the sin, right? If he lose this opportunity to fighting, means he is neglecting his swadharma, his prescribed duty, right? As a kshatriya. And if he neglect his duty, then he will lose his reputation as a fighter, and then he will incur the sin to himself, means his consciousness will go down, right? That many acharyas has given him benediction, and he had even fight with the Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva become very much happy to Arjuna, and he has rewarded him the weapon called Pasupasastra. That's one of the very highest weapon, right? Dronacharya has given so many weapon, including like the Brahmastra, right? So he gets certificate from many acharyas, from the many authorities, that he is a number one fighter. He's a number one, he's a kshatriya. And but if he will not fight, then nobody will understand that. Okay, he don't fight because he is the compassionate to his enemies. No, no one will understand. People will think that he become weak, he become coward, and people will say bad thing about him, and then his reputation as a fighter will go away. So it's not just it's not just his opportunity he will lose, also he will lose whatever respect he has gained so far. So for a kshatriya, if you have such opportunity where there's clear cut fight between dharma and then adharma, you should not be run away from those. So there's no excuse for that. Okay, sorry, I was tired, sorry, I thought some other way. No, people will not buy all your these excuses. People will just see that you have neglected your duties, or maybe you are not so much powerful, or maybe you are not so much courage to have a fight. So that's what Krishna is saying, that this is not just opportunity. Don't think this is just an opportunity for you. This is your duty as well to fight. Okay, let's go to the next one. 34. Okay, let's read the Sanskrit first. Akirtim chapi bhutani prakasyanti che avyayam sambhavidasya chakat kirtir nadar atirichyate.
People will always speak of your infamy, and for a respectable person, dishonor is worse than death.
Correct. Here Krishna become little bit not hard, is giving him the true, the reality, that people will, if you turn away from this battlefield with whatever excuse you have in your mind, then people will always say bad thing about you, like the infamy. Peop- and people will not respect you. Doesn't matter how much you are qualified. People say that you are coward, you cannot protect your own people. You turn away from a battlefield where you are needed the most, and people will disrespect you in many ways, right? So this dishonor is worse than the death. Better you should die. Okay, what's happened that in the battlefield you will die, so better you will die. That's much more better than getting disrespected, right? So that's the thing, that in our life also, although we are not kshatriya, but we should not uh, be like that. We try to get our honor, right? First, if somebody not the honoring us, and then always defaming us in some way, then we should not be in such a situation, because then so I think better to die, like the for the kshatriya, like the Arjuna, that's much more better. After you will fight and then die, okay, what's happened? You will go to the heavenly planet. That's much more better than turning your then okay, then you then neglecting as a duty to fight. So Krishna is warning Arjuna, or Krishna is telling Arjuna the true reality, that when the fight situation will come, be much more sincere and do your duties properly over here. Of course, Arjuna know this because Arjuna is also very devotee, so he's the compassion comes very naturally to him, right? He is compassionate towards his enemy also, because his enemy has his brother, his some of his friends, his most beloved acharya, and also his grandfather that he respects a lot. So he know that if the I will fight, I need to kill all of them, and these are the great souls. So out of compassion, he has decided not to fight. But here the reality is different. Fighting is not something such a bad thing. Fighting in one sense, if you're fighting on the religion, right? Same thing true with the sacrifice, like the in the old time, like the brahmanas, like the sacrifice the animal, right? That's and and those are the good thing, right? Because when the brahmana sacrifice animal, of course sacrifice in a proper Vedic mantra and proper way, then those animal will get the human body in the next birth, right? Otherwise animal has to go through different body cyclic process. So he actually help those souls on the spiritual platform. So that's also not such a bad. So killing is not such a bad thing if you're killing based on the dharma. But of course, we should not utilize this in the Kali Yuga, because in the Kali Yuga, people just kill, the animal sacrifice because he wanted to eat those flesh meat, right? And then people unnecessarily killing just for the sense enjoyment. Of course, we like this should not be misinterpreted in that way. People just fight because he want more land, or people fight because he want more money, or due to some sense gratification. Of course, it should not be treated in that way. That's why these are sort of like the not considered good. But if you see from the pure on the spiritual platform, fighting is not such a bad thing if you're fighting based on the religious principle, right? Okay, let's go to the next one. 35.
Bhayat
Ayad
Upayatam
Bhakti-tvam
Yadate
Maratha
Tvam Maharata
Yesam Sattvam Bhavato Bhuta Yasya Siddharvam.
Bhutva yasi laghavam. Okay, so the translation is, okay, anyone can read?
The great generals who have highly esteemed your name and fame will think that you have left the battlefield out of fear only, and thus they will consider you insignificant.
Yes, that's what Krishna told to Arjuna, that don't think that your great general like the Duryodhan, Karna, or the other, they will think that you have left the battlefield because of the compassion. No, they will think that you left battlefield because you got feared from them, right? That's what is their judgment. And then whatever your the respect and your whatever is your value of your personality, it will just go like that down. People not respect you. So we don't think that they will think, okay, Arjuna is very kind, he don't want to kill his kinsman, so that's why he left the battlefield, let's have the clap. No, it will not like this. They will just think that you are very insignificant, okay, because you are very insignificant, and you feared from them, and that's why you left the battlefield. So that's that will be the reality. So we should, if the such fighting opportunity come, we should definitely fight if the direction is very clear, if the purpose is very clear, and that should be based on the dharma, right? So Krishna is reaffirming and giving the final judgment to Arjuna, that Arjuna should fight. Okay, Go to the next one. Avad Avachaya Vadancha Bahun
Vadicyanti
Vadisyanti
Sava
Nidantat
Vadaha
Susamadhya Tato Dukkataram Bhaktisam
Tva Samarathayam Tato Dukha Taram Nukim. Okay. So your enemies will describe you in many unkind words and scorn your ability. What should be more painful for you? Right. So people, whatever so-called compassion is Arjuna having is not uh, uh, like that. This is all. They will think that you are not a proper Arya. Aryans. Aryans are the civilized clan or the civilized society. So they will think that you are not even Aryan. They will say you're such a bad way. They will say such unkind word towards you. You know? And there's so many ways they will turn out your like the personality. They will say that you are very insignificant, you are not even man. They can say so many things towards you that you cannot imagine. So what will be more painful for you, that you are a very capable fighter, you are number one fighter at that point of time, right? You have even defeated Lord Shiva, you are son of Indra. And when people will say about to you, you will just regret such opportunity. It's not about like the Kshatriya can fight anytime to anyone. No, Kshatriya need to fight when such opportunities come, when it's proper battlefield and it's based on the dharma. Then only Kshatriya needs to fight. So and such opportunities came to Arjuna. So Arjuna should fight. He should not be uh, uh, think about so-called compassion. He should give up so-called compassion, and then he should follow his duties. So that's what Krishna is telling to Arjuna over here.
Ankeji, one question.
Mhm.
Last last three verses, the theme is that enemy or Karna and Dronacharya will think bad. But does it really matter how, in the material world, and someone who is already on the side of adharma, how they will think? Is it even important to consider? Because like today, some people may think that spiritual path is not good. But
Mhm.
do we need to care about that? Do we need to care about wrong opinion formed by people on the wrong side of dharma? So last three verse, I was thinking about this, that why again and again, this theme is appearing, that people will talk not well about you. How, and that too, people on the wrong side, enemy, people on the wrong side of dharma.
Yeah, because see, for a personality like Arjuna, who is very capable Kshatriya, right? And then for the Kshatriya, is someone insulting any Kshatriyas is very very painful for the Kshatriya, because that's the way Kshatriyas are made, right? They carry the respect, they carry the honor, and they carry and they live the life with the dignity. This is how their lifestyle is, right? This is different from our case. We are not even proper like the Kshatriya. Even someone say unkind words towards us, so it doesn't much matter to us, as long as we think that we are doing good things, right? But if we taken some responsibility, let's say we have taken the responsibility of family or something, right? And we give up that responsibility and we don't take care of our family in a proper way, although we cannot protect our family from the enemies from any from the bad energy. So people may also say unkind word towards us. That, okay, what kind of person he is? He is not even protecting his family. So that can also hurt us, right? For a personality like the Arjuna, who is a Kshatriya, who is the ruler in, of course, ruler is a Yudhishthira, but he is a very much next to the ruler, right? He is a number one fighter from his side. So such words matter to him, right? and such words matter to him because he live life with the proper dignity. But the point over here that he is fighting out, he is willing to fight, sorry, he is giving up fighting out of so-called like the compassion. So Krishna is basically touching that point that your whatever you're compassioning towards your enemy, those doesn't deserve that compassion. And or you can say this battle, like this time, is not for to compassionate to them in that way. Of course, if you kill them, then it's much more compassion, because then they will get much more better body after getting killed from you. So Krishna is touching like this point very much, that for the fighter like the Arjuna, such unkind words will be very much painful for him. Even it's from the other side, like the Karna or the others, it will be really painful to him. That's the and like that's the reason Krishna is touching this point. I think in the three sloka.
Okay, okay, understood. Hare Krishna.
Just quick one point I want to make here, Pratik.
Mhm.
देखो जो opposition में भी है ना, भीष्म द्रोण, they are actually of course on the side of Duryodhana, but they are not adharmic themselves. Okay, they are highly esteemed, and in fact Bhishma is a pure devotee of Lord Krishna. Okay, तो ये circumstances ऐसे हुए हैं कि they are opposing because so many things, right? Bhishma is loyal to the Kurus and he took a vow which he can't go against. But Bhishma, Drona, they are Kripacharya also. They are, revered as very pure souls, although they are fighting on the side of adharma. And of course, these people will not say bad words, but for a Kshatriya, like here, if you see 34, what Krishna says, Cha kirtir marna datarichyate. For a Kshatriya, dishonor is worse than death. So if Arjuna does not fight the battle and Krishna is pepping him up, okay, so by any way or means, the result that he wants to derive is Arjuna fighting the war, because Arjuna fighting is best for Arjuna, okay, from a Swadharma point of view, from a Nitya Dharma point of view, uh, and from point of view of establishing the righteous uh, uh, people to rule the world. ओके, तो इसलिए वो उसका क्षत्रिय का जो स्वभाव है ना, उसको भगवान थोड़ा ये कर रहे हैं, एंथूज कर रहे हैं कि अरे तुम क्षत्रिय हो, क्षत्रिय के लिए तो है ना, डिसऑनर इज वर्स देन डेथ। और फिर देखो अगर तुम युद्ध छोड़ के भाग गए तो ये लोग ये थोड़ी नहीं कहेंगे कि तुम कंपैशन की वजह से भागे, ये लोग बोलेंगे कि ये भयम रणाद उपरतम, है ना, भय की वजह से भाग गया दुर्योधन और ये कर्ण, तो तुम्हारा है ना, तो इस वजह से तो इस लाइफ में भी तुम्हारा अकीर्ति होगा, और मरने के बाद क्या होगा। अर्जुन ने फर्स्ट चैप्टर 36 वर्ड्स में क्या बोला था कि पापम एवा श्रेयद अस्मान हत्वेता आतताइन, है ना, अगर मैं इन सबको मारूंगा तो मुझे पाप लगेगा। बट व्हाट कृष्णा इज टेलिंग हियर इज इफ यू डोंट फाइट यू विल गेट पाप। यू अंडरस्टैंड? क्योंकि तुम अपना
Yes,
स्वधर्म नहीं कर रहे हो एज ए क्षत्रिय, है ना। तो अर्जुना का पूरा कंसेप्ट ही गलत था फर्स्ट चैप्टर में, इसका मतलब, है ना। तो अगर तुम भागोगे तो फ्रॉम अ नित्य धर्म पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू ऑल्सो इट्स नॉट करेक्ट। व्हाई? बिकॉज कृष्णा इज स्टैंडिंग ऑन दिस साइड, ही इज आस्किंग यू टू फाइट, सुप्रीम लॉर्ड इज आस्किंग अस टू फाइट, वी आर नॉट फाइटिंग। तो नित्य धर्म भी उसने अपना छोड़ा। स्वधर्म क्यों छोड़ा? बिकॉज ही इज अ क्षत्रिय, ही शुड फाइट अगेंस्ट द मिसक्रिएंट्स, है ना, अधार्मिक से फाइट करना चाहिए। वो उसको स्वधर्म वो नहीं करेगा तो सिन लगेगा उसको मरने के बाद, है ना। बट इस लाइफ में भी from all three point of views he is actually getting degraded, है ना। तो ड्यूटी भी नहीं कर रहा है, भगवान का इंस्ट्रक्शन भी नहीं फॉलो कर रहा है, और ड्यूटी नहीं कर रहा है, तो यहाँ पे भी उसका अपयश हो रहा है ना। एंड कृष्णा डिड नॉट वांट दिस फ्रॉम ऑल दीज थ्री पॉइंट ऑफ व्यूज, है ना। तो इसलिए ही इज आस्किंग हिम टू फाइट, और उसको वो इंस्टिगेट कर रहा है कि हाँ फाइट करो, किसी भी तरह से ये फाइट करे, because that is the ultimate purpose of Arjuna's existence. Okay, Hare Krishna.
understood. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Chandu. Yes, very much true. So like the Arjuna will get the three treatment if he not fight, right. First, he will not doing the duties of the Nitya Dharma because Krishna is on his side, so he's not doing his spiritual duty, whatever Krishna is instructing. Plus Swadharma is also he will neglect because he's not doing the duty of the Kshatriya to fight, and and uh, and then he will have the bad thing not only after his death but also in this life. People will say bad thing about him. So actually, so Krishna is basically uh, telling Arjuna to fight and then invoking his Kshatriya nature basically. Okay, let's.
Prabhuji, can you please repeat what are you referring to as Nitya Dharma? Swadharma, I understood.
Yeah, Nitya Dharma means, see, every soul has one, like the spiritual dharma. To basically, we have to follow the instruction of Krishna or the Supreme Lord. This is our, this is our main, one of the main spiritual dharma. If we are away from this dharma, so we are, of course, we are away from our the uh, like the spiritual, the journey. So Krishna is clearly on his side, right? Krishna is clearly on his side, and Krishna is telling him to fight, and then he's not doing it, right? Whatever reason he has, so that's he is not doing his Nitya Dharma, and of course the Swadharma, because he's also Kshatriya, and then he's supposed to fight on the battlefield where is a very distinct dharma versus dharma, and that's also he's not doing it, right? Means of course he will, means he's thinking not to do it, right? So that's the Swadharma. That's the he is trying to neglect over here.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
Nitya Dharma and Swadharma, everybody should understand this clearly. Okay, there are two natures that we all have. Okay, just like we are the soul and we are encaged in this material body. Okay, so body can change, but soul is the same. Okay, please understand this. Different lifetimes we get different material bodies. Okay, now the nature of the soul is called Nitya Dharma because it is Nitya, just like soul. Soul is Nitya, Nitya Dharma is also Nitya. What is Nitya Dharma? Nitya Dharma is serving and loving the Supreme Lord. That is Nitya Dharma for the soul. जैसे हम जो जप कर रहे हैं, हम लोग जो हरि कथा सुन रहे हैं, anything related to the Supreme Lord, that is Nitya Dharma for the soul. It is the constitutional duty of the soul. And then secondary is the Swadharma. Swadharma is the material dharma. उस बॉडी का जो धर्म है, जैसे अभी मैं एक पुरुष के शरीर में हूं तो मेरा पुरुष रिलेटेड धर्म है ना. आई एम हस्बैंड टू समवन तो मेरा एक हस्बैंड का धर्म है. एक मैं कंट्री का सिटीजन हूं तो कंट्री का धर्म है. तो ऐसे अनलिमिटेड धर्म है बेस्ड ऑन माय बॉडी. एक मेरा पुत्र का धर्म है. ऐसे ही अगर मैं स्त्री की बॉडी में नेक्स्ट लाइफ चला गया तो आई विल हैव डिफरेंट सेट ऑफ धर्मास. अगर मैं एक क्षत्रिय की बॉडी में चला गया डिफरेंट सेट ऑफ धर्म, ब्राह्मण की बॉडी में चला गया डिफरेंट सेट ऑफ धर्म, बट मेरा सोल का नित्य धर्म रिमेन्स द सेम बिकॉज सोल रिमेन्स द सेम. ओके, तो नित्य धर्म इज द टॉप मोस्ट ड्यूटी ऑफ एनी जीवा. क्यों? क्योंकि वो सोल के पर्टेनिंग है ना. बट मटेरियल धर्म कीप्स चेंजिंग as person changes their bodies. तो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल ड्यूटी एंड कंडीशनल ड्यूटी. कंडीशनल ड्यूटी इज स्वधर्म. जैसे मेरा जो जॉब है ना, या फिर मेरा फैमिलियल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, या फिर मेरा फ्रेंड्स को रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, मेरे पेरेंट्स को रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, दिस ऑल इज कंडीशनल या फिर स्वधर्म. एंड माय कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल धर्म इज माय रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी टुवर्ड्स द सुप्रीम लॉर्ड. तो ऐसा बोला जाता है कि नित्य धर्म हैज टू बी डन, इट कैन नॉट बी कॉम्प्रोमाइज. स्वधर्म कैन बी कॉम्प्रोमाइज, है ना. तो स्वधर्म कैन बी कॉम्प्रोमाइज्ड फॉर सेक ऑफ नित्य धर्म, दैट इज अलाउड. बट नित्य धर्म शुड नॉट बी कॉम्प्रोमाइज फॉर द सेक ऑफ स्वधर्म. जैसे अगर कोई बहुत अच्छा फादर है, बहुत अच्छा, उसने मटेरियल ड्यूटीज बहुत अच्छे से की बट स्पिरिचुअल ड्यूटीज अच्छे से नहीं कर पाया, है ना, तो व्हाट इज द यूज? ही विल रिमेन इन द मटेरियल प्लेन. जैसे कोई ब्राह्मण है, उसने अच्छे अपने यज्ञ किए, है ना, अच्छा दान पुण्य किया, तो he will go to स्वर्गा, which is again within the material realm. He will come back, है ना, क्षीणे पुण्य मृत्य लोकम मृशंति. तो वो ऊपर नीचे करते रहेंगे बस. They will not be able to transcend this material world. जो लोग अपना स्वधर्म अच्छे से कर रहे हैं बट नित्य धर्म को भूल गए. बट जो अपना नित्य धर्म अच्छे से कर रहा है, even though he is not able to perform swadharma properly, since he is connecting with the Supreme Lord, gradually he will advance towards Padam Avyayam Tad. He will gradually advance towards that spiritual abode. So that is better. But in this condition, Arjuna's Swadharma and Nitya Dharma are not contrary to each other. They are aligned, है ना. भगवान भी उससे कह रहे हैं लड़ाई करो, और उसका स्वधर्म है क्षत्रिय भी कह रहा है तुम लड़ाई करो, है ना. तो both are aligned. So that's why Krishna is saying from both point of view you should fight. नित्य धर्म का पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू क्या था, 2.10 to 2.30 आइडेंटिटी, और 2.31 to 38 में स्वधर्म की वजह से भी उसको लड़ाई करना चाहिए. नहीं लड़ाई करेगा तो ही विल गेट पाप. हाँ? ऐसा नहीं है कि लड़ाई करके पाप, उसको वो मारेगा लोगों को तो ही विल गेट एक्चुअली रिवॉर्ड. देखो इसका एक एनालॉजी बस मैं क्विकली 1 मिनट में बताता हूँ, सॉरी हल्के जी. जैसे समझ लो कोई आर्मी मैन है ना. कोई आर्मी मैन अगर बॉर्डर में गया लड़ाई करने टेररिस्ट को मारने के लिए, है ना, तो वो लड़ता है खूब वेलर के साथ, मारता है पीटता है लोगों को, और है ना वापस आता है तो वो टेररिस्ट लोगों को जानता भी नहीं है वो व्यक्ति, है कि नहीं. ही डज नॉट इवन नो देम बट ही इज किलिंग देम, और वो किलिंग करने के लिए द गवर्नमेंट रिवॉर्ड्स इट. करेक्ट और नॉट?
यस.
महावीर चक्र, वीर चक्र, परमवीर चक्र, तुमने लोगों को मारा बट यू आर गेटिंग रिवॉर्डेड, है ना. क्यों? क्योंकि ही डिड नॉट किल बिकॉज ऑफ हिज ओन ग्रज, ही डिड नॉट किल बिकॉज ऑफ हिज ओन पर्सनल इश्यूज, या फिर अपने पर्सनल सेल्फिश मोटिव्स की वजह से नहीं किल किया उसे. ही किल्ड बिकॉज ऑन हायर ऑर्डर. So that's what the position of Arjun should be. He's killing on a higher order, not for his own benefit. So then he will be rewarded.
इस केस में ये स्वधर्म होगा या नित्य धर्म होगा?
नहीं, इस केस में एग्जाम्पल के केस में तो ये स्वधर्म है ना. इसमें नित्य नित्य तो भगवान जब आएंगे तब. बट एनालॉजी ये है कि just like government is instructing this army man to kill, Krishna is instructing Arjuna to kill. He should not think anything. Krishna is saying just do it. That should be the thing. But here the Swadharma and Nitya Dharma both are aligned. So he should all the more go wholeheartedly doing his duty. ठीक है. अच्छा, अब अगर यही आर्मी मैन ऑन एज अ कॉन्ट्रडिक्शन, समझो वो अपने गांव गया, वहां कुछ लड़ाई हुई, उसने एक को गोली मार दी, वो मर गया, तो अब क्या होगा उसका? अब उसको थोड़ी कोई रिवॉर्ड मिलेगा, अब उसको कोर्ट मार्शल मिलेगा. मारा, दोनों केस में मारा है उसने. एक केस में was sanctioned by the higher authorities, second case not sanctioned by the higher authorities, so he will be punished, rewarded in one, punished in another. तो अर्जुन का भी ऐसे ही है ना. वो अपने लिए अगर मारेगा और अपने उसके लिए कुछ करेगा तो then he will be under the law of karma, he will be punished. बट अगर भगवान के लिए कुछ करेगा, अपने लिए नहीं, so then he will get rewarded by the supreme lord. क्यों? क्योंकि वो भगवान की इच्छा पूरी कर रहा है. हरे कृष्णा.
तो मैं राकेश जी के क्वेश्चन को थोड़ा सा और एक्सटेंड करते हुए इस डिस्कशन पे, तो आज के समय में अगर हम लोग अपने लिए देखें तो नित्य धर्म का तो हमें किसी तरह का ये नहीं है, कोई पता नहीं है. स्वधर्म को कैसे आइडेंटिफाई किया जाए?
ये थोड़ा लंबा टॉपिक है, क्योंकि ये क्या है ना, देखो ब्राह्मण क्षत्रिय वैश्य शूद्र ये है ना गुरु के अंडर होता था. गुरु जो है वो आइडेंटिफाई करता था, सीइंग द ट्रेट्स ऑफ द डिसाइपल. अभी आजकल तो ऐसे गुरु भी नहीं है, और है ना सब लोग एक ही जैसी पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं, है ना. सबको एक ही जैसा, कोई स्वभाव के हिसाब से कोई एजुकेशन नहीं है, तो वो मोर और लेस अभी लॉस्ट हो गया, है ना. तो अभी का स्वधर्म क्या है? जो आप जॉब कर रहे हैं, है ना, दैट इज योर स्वधर्म, है ना. स्वधर्म मतलब जो भी आप अपना फैमिली को मेंटेन करने के लिए, अपने सस्टेनेंस के लिए जो भी आप जॉब कर रहे हो, फैमिलियल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, दिस ऑल इज स्वधर्म. इन एंड ऑफ इटसेल्फ जस्ट डूइंग दिस परफेक्टली विल नॉट हेल्प यू एडवांस स्पिरिचुअली. ये हमको समझना बहुत जरूरी है. एडवांसमेंट तब होगा जब हम भगवान से, है ना, वर्टिकल कनेक्शन बनाएंगे. हॉरिजॉन्टल कनेक्शन से हम लोग वर्टिकल नहीं ऊपर मूव हो सकते. एक्स और वाई में बस मूव होते रहते हैं. जेड में मूव होने के लिए वी नीड कनेक्शन विद द सुप्रीम लॉर्ड, भगवान से. तब हमारा प्यूरिफिकेशन होगा, है ना. तब हमारा धीरे धीरे एडवांसमेंट होगा स्पिरिचुअल लाइफ. ठीक है. तो स्वधर्म मतलब हम अपना जॉब वगैरह करते रहे जैसे हम कर रहे हैं, है ना, और धीरे 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 वी enhance our spiritual practices, we become more serious, more sincere, and we practice whatever we take the vow for practicing, like japa, या फिर हर वीक एटलीस्ट एक बार हरि कथा में आना, एसोसिएशन में आना. दिस शुड बी आवर vow, and we fulfill this vow day after day, week after week. Then slowly purification will happen. है ना. योगिना कर्म कुर्वन्ति आत्म शुद्ध है, 5th चैप्टर में ये आएगा, है ना. तो एवरी एक्टिविटी देन विल बिकम प्यूरिफाइंग फॉर अस व्हेन वी डू इट फॉर द satisfaction of the Supreme Lord, not for our own satisfaction. That is the key. ठीक है अमित? हरे कृष्णा अलकेश जी, sorry, हाँ.
Hare Krishna.
No, very good, Chandu. So yeah, so the Swadharma is our duty that we are doing as a good citizen, as a good family member, as a good father, as a good husband. That mostly consider our Swadharma, but that's also quite challenging nowadays with so much corruption and so much pollution we have everywhere in the food, in the society. That's nowadays not so easy, but still we have to do it. We need to earn money, we need to take care of the family, give them more healthy life, and also fulfill our whatever duty we have as a citizen. So this mostly considered as a Swadharma. The Nitya Dharma, as Chandu mentioned, we have to do our spiritual practice, chanting japa, reading Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, connecting with the devotees. Those can be considered as a Swadharma. No, sorry, can be considered as a Nitya Dharma in our case. Okay, let's go to the 36 we have already covered.
Just one question.
Yes,
If
please.
we do something for our society, irrespective of any selfish motive, मतलब हम जो भी कुछ करें अच्छी नीयत से, तो क्या वो नित्य धर्म में काउंट होगा? मतलब अगर मैं दूसरे के लिए जिसको हम नहीं जानते या ऐसा कुछ करे सोसाइटी के लिए या
हाँ,
कुछ,
अगर आप कर रहे हो बट आप उसका ये रिजल्ट नहीं गेन करना चाह रहे, एक
हाँ,
अगर
मतलब
आप कुछ कर रहे हो बट आप उसके रिटर्न में कुछ नहीं चाह रहे,
नहीं,
can be considered because basically you are giving up the result of your activities. बट आपने सोसाइटी के लिए किया बट आप कुछ उसके बदले में नहीं चाह रहे, बट
नहीं चाह रहे, बस हमें थोड़ी सी सेटिस्फेक्शन और खुशी मिलती है कि चलो हमने कुछ किया अनसेल्फिश मोटिव से। अपने परिवार के लिए तो सभी कुछ करते हैं, बट अगर हम अपने परिवार के लिए नहीं कर रहे, किसी ऐसे के लिए कर रहे जिसको हम नहीं जानते हैं, जिससे हमारा कोई संबंध नहीं है, रिश्ता नहीं है, अनसेल्फिश मोटिव से कर रहे हैं, तो क्या वो थोड़ा सा नित्य धर्म के तरफ क्या बोल सकते हैं उसको?
हाँ, थोड़ा सा उस तरफ आप बोल सकते हैं, क्योंकि आप बहुत अनसेल्फिश मोटिव से कर रहे हो, बट उससे भी ज्यादा बेटर है कि आप डायरेक्टली कृष्ण से कनेक्ट हो। दैट्स ऑलवेज बेटर। आप डायरेक्टली जापा करो, डायरेक्टली कृष्ण से कनेक्ट हो, एंड ऑफ कोर्स आप अगर आप ऐसा कर रहे हैं तो वो आपको कृष्ण से डायरेक्ट कनेक्शन के लिए आपको क्वालिफाई करेगा ना, आपको इस तरफ से पुश करेगा कि आप नित्य धर्म की तरफ और आप जाओ। बट हाँ, अगर आपको भी किसी से आप सोसाइटी को हेल्प करो बट उसके बदले में आप कुछ मटेरियल नहीं चाह रहे, आपको खुशी मिली, वो तो फिर अलग बात है, बट आप कुछ आप मटेरियल नहीं चाह रहे तो आप नित्य धर्म की तरफ आप पुश हो रहे हो। But more better if you do directly to the Krishna. It means that you are involved in the bhakti activity like chanting, reading Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. That's much more beneficial. But आप ये भी करो, आप अगर आप किसी सोसाइटी के लिए कर रहे हो without any getting any result, that's also आप उस तरफ कि आप बोल सकते हो कि आप धर्म के प्रति आप कर रहे हो। Okay, so let's go to the next one. Okay, 37.
जिसी स्वर्ग जीतवा जैसे निश्चय।
So that, okay, anyone can read the translation?
O son of Kunti, either you will be killed on the battlefield and attain the heavenly planets, or you will conquer and enjoy the earthly kingdom. Therefore, get up with determination and fight.
Yeah, so that's the continuation of the Krishna motivating Arjuna for the fight, and he tells that for the Kshatriya there is very too clear, the outcome. Either he will getting killed, so in that case he will attain the heavenly planets because he is fighting on the side of the religion based on dharma, or if he will win, so then he will conquer this earthly kingdom and then he will establish the principle of religion. So in both cases it's a win-win situation for him, so there is no point of any hesitation. So just get up with the determination, with the full mind, and fight. So these are the instruction Krishna is giving to the Arjuna for the fighting. Okay, so let's go to the next one. 38. And Sukha Dukhe
Dukha
Samdukha
Samdukha
Labha Labha
Labho
Jaya
Jaya Jaya
Jayo.
Tato
Tato
Yadhava
Nevam
Yujas
Swapa
Navam
Nevam Papam
Avapyasi.
Avapyasi. So the translation, anyone can read? Translation?
Do thou fight for the sake of fighting without considering happiness or distress, loss or gain, victory or defeat, and by so doing you shall never incur sin.
Yeah, this is very important sloka that Krishna is telling Arjuna, like the before Arjuna has a like understanding that if he will do this ghastly fight where he will kill so many people, he will have he will take lots of sin. Right, that was his main argument. That's why he was giving up the fight. But here Krishna is saying that just do the fight, just do your duty for the fighting. Don't think about the victory or gain. So it's a victory or the defeat, or what you will gain, what you will lose. Don't think about even the happiness and then distress. Just fight because it's your duty to fight, right? And based on my instruction, if the he will do, then he will not incur any sin, right? So that's the beauty of this fighting in this uh, the dharma fight, right? Basically, uh, like someone who fight for some gain, right? Okay, I will have this kingdom, let me enjoy. Or or even if I fight, and if someone who is fighting not as a fighter but mostly as a businessman, I have this much gain, I have this much plus and minus, and if I victory, then I will have more enjoyment. If I get defeat in case of it, then I have lots of pain. So if you're fighting in that consciousness, then it's not beneficial for you. Just fight because you are kshatriya. This is dharma yuddha. You have to fight on the dharma side, and you just Krishna is on your side, so you basically completely surrender into the activities of the Krishna. And and in and and if you fight in that way, then the sin will never come to you. That's what Krishna is telling to the Arjuna. This will also you can see in the purport also. If the someone who is just serving in the activities of Krishna, even as the Chandras also mentioned, even he is giving up all other duties. He is no longer a debater or the obliged to anyone. So here, like the for the Arjuna, he's Krishna is telling him to fight, means the fighting is considered in the activities of Krishna consciousness because Krishna's directly instruction. So of course here is in line with his swadharma, that's he's a kshatriya and then he need to fight. So basically he need to be fight for the sake of Krishna in a purely transcendental consciousness, right? Not he is my enemy, I don't like him, let me kill him. No, not with this mentality. Basically, he should fight in a transcendental mode because fighting is the need of time, and fighting is beneficially for him also and for his enemy also. So with this consciousness, he should fight with without happiness or distress, gain or loss, or victory or defeat, and trying to be put your mind purely focus on the fight, not on the result of the fight. So if you fight in that way, he will never incur any sin. So we don't think about that he will have a sin because he's fighting, because he's killing so many people. No. If you fight in that consciousness, in the dharma yuddha, of course sin will never come to him, and of course he will get lots of spiritual benefit because he's working in the instruction of the under the instruction of Krishna. So this is the 38th verse today. Sorry, we are little bit over time, but anyone have any questions?
Just one question I have.
Yeah.
मे बी इट इज अ नॉट अ वेरी गुड क्वेश्चन, आई डोंट नो, बट बहुत दिन से मेरे दिमाग में चल रहा था तो मैंने सोचा
हाँ बिल्कुल।
पूछ लो। मेरा ये था कि कृष्ण भगवान के पास तो इतना पावर था कि वो किसी की भी बुद्धि को भी फेर सकते हैं, मतलब किसी को जो सोचने समझने की क्षमता होती है उसको चेंज कर सकते हैं। और मतलब ही इज अ सुप्रीम लॉर्ड, तो वो कुछ भी कर सकते हैं, वट एवर ही थिंक्स ही कैन डू दैट। तो वो दुर्योधन की भी बुद्धि बुद्धि घुमा सकते थे, तो ये फाइट ही नहीं होती। मैं ऐसा सोचता हूँ कि भगवान तो कुछ भी कर सकते हैं, चमत्कार कर सकते हैं, उनमें इतनी पावर है कि वो किसी की भी बुद्धि भी भ्रष्ट कर सकते हैं, और किसी भ्रष्ट वाले की बुद्धि भी, मतलब या कोई सही बुद्धिमान व्यक्ति उसकी भी बुद्धि भ्रष्ट कर सकते हैं, मतलब बोथ वेज ही कैन डू वाइस वर्सा। तो अगर मतलब उनमें ही कुड हैव डन दैट आल्सो, कि जब वो कर्ण को समझा रहे थे कि हमारे साइड आ जाओ, धर्म की साइड आओ, और क्योंकि उसको पता था कर्ण को भी, बट उसका अपना कमिटमेंट था, तो सेम वे वो दुर्योधन की बुद्धि भी घुमा सकते थे। मतलब मैं सोचता हूँ कि ऐसा ऐसा मेरे को कभी कभी आता है कि ये शायद युद्ध ही ना होता अगर उसको ही चेंज कर देते, तो उसको कन्विंस कर लेते कि वॉट एवर ही आस्क फॉर वो उसकी बात मान जाता। तो मेरा ऐसा कुछ वेग सा क्वेश्चन था।
नहीं, सही क्वेश्चन है, मुझे ऐसा क्वेश्चन जनरली
क्योंकि कभी
आता है
कभी
माइंड।
आपने देखा होगा कि कुछ काम आपसे हो जाता है जो आपको बहुत अफसोस होता है, कि आपको लगता है कि मेरी बुद्धि भ्रष्ट हो गई थी, मैंने ऐसा क्यों किया, बट वो लिखा था, नियति में लिखा था, या भगवान ने ऐसा लिखा था, और आप ऐसा कर देते हो, बाद में आपको रियलाइज होता है मैंने क्या कर दिया, मतलब मेरा उस समय क्यों नहीं दिमाग चला या बुद्धि क्यों नहीं चली, मैंने क्या कर दिया। बहुत
तो
कुछ ऐसा करते हैं हम लोग।
एक्चुअल में देखो, कृष्णा किसी के फ्री विल को पहले तो किसी को टच नहीं करते हैं। कृष्णा आपको वो सारा एजुकेशन देते हैं, सारा आपको नॉलेज देते हैं, और सारा ऐसा सर्कमस्टांसेस भी आपको बनाते हैं ताकि आप अपने फ्री विल, ताकि आप अपने डिसीजन को चेंज कर सको। पर कृष्णा नेवर इंटरफेयर द फ्री विल। मतलब हिस्ट्री में ऐसे दो कैरेक्टर हैं, एक तो रावण है और एक दुर्योधन है, जिसको जिसको भगवान ने बहुत चांस दिया है ना, कितनी बार समझाया है ना, दुर्योधन को कितनी बार समझाया है ना, उसको तो यहाँ तक के लिए मनाने की कोशिश किया कि आप पांडव को 5 गांव दे दो,
5 गांव दे दो जी।
उसमें भी हैप्पी हो जाएंगे, है ना।
जी
जबकि दुर्योधन ने इतना बड़ा पाप किया तो उसने फिर द्रौपदी का हरण किया था।
ये बिल्कुल किया था।
रावण ने भी सीता का हरण किया, तो उसको आखिरी तक ये ये अंगद भी बनाने के लिए गया था, अभी आप छोड़ दो, अभी आप सीता को वापस कर दो, तो फिर भगवान राम चले जाएंगे, वो तो
जी
बदला लेंगे। तो इस दो पर्सनैलिटी को भगवान ने कई बार समझाया, नॉट नॉट एक बार, कई 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 बार समझाया, आपको उनका फ्री विल को नहीं टच करते हुए, क्योंकि भगवान किसी का फ्री विल टच नहीं करता। अगर भगवान सबका फ्री विल टच करते होते तो सब लोग स्पिरिचुअल बन जाते हैं, राइट ना। दैट्स द ब्यूटी, बिकॉज बिकॉज कि भगवान हम भी उनके पार्ट है, हम भी एक सोल के पार्ट है, तो फिर वो भी हमारा भी रेस्पेक्ट करते हैं एज ए सोल, कि आई विल नॉट टच योर फ्री विल। जैसे ही भगवान का फ्री विल, वैसे आपका भी फ्री विल है ना। तो इसलिए भगवान किसी भी सोल का फ्री विल टच नहीं करते। इवन ये भगवत गीता बताने के बाद भी भगवान अर्जुना को बोलते हैं, इट्स नाउ अप टू यू वेदर यू शुड फॉलो और नॉट। इतना कुछ बताने के बाद दैट्स द लास्ट द स्टेटमेंट। वहां भी भगवान अर्जुना को भी कोई फ्री विल को टच नहीं कर रहे थे। तो उसी प्रकार भगवान ने दुर्योधन के फ्री विल को टच नहीं किया, बट हाँ, युद्ध को रोकने के लिए भगवान ने बहुत उपाय किए, बहुत ज्यादा उपाय किए, जो भी आपको रिस्पेक्टेबल उपाय था भगवान ने बहुत किए, बट वो दुर्योधन नहीं माना, है ना।
जी जी।
दुर्योधन ने नहीं माना, क्योंकि तब आपको युद्ध इज द लास्ट, द लास्ट
लास्ट
आपको उपाय
रेस्टोरेंट।
बना, है ना। सेम चीज वहां पे भगवान राम ने आपको युद्ध नहीं हो, है ना, उसके लिए कितने उपाय किए, कितने सारे, पहले आप हनुमान जी को भेजे, फिर आपको लास्ट में अंगद को भेजे, है ना। आपको कुंभकर्ण को भी मनाया कि भैया तुम उसके साथ छोड़ दो, पूरा का पूरा उपाय किए, है ना। कभी भी ये विभीषण को पूछने किए कि तुम सारा सीक्रेट हमको अभी बता दो, है ना, कभी ऐसा पूछने की, राइट। तो भगवान ने सारा उपाय किया, लेकिन कुछ पर्सनैलिटी था जो कि नहीं माने, है ना, चूंकि भगवान किसी का भी फ्री विल टच नहीं करते, किसी का भी नहीं, है ना। तो वो तो बेसिक प्रिंसिपल है, वो आपका बेसिस है हर एक सोल एंड सुपर सोल के बीच का, है ना। सोल जो सुपर सोल है, सोल को ऑब्जर्व करता है विदाउट टचिंग द फ्री विल, है ना। तो भगवान ने कई कोशिश की कि युद्ध ना हो, एक्चुअली बहुत ज्यादा कोशिश की, तब भी दुर्योधन नहीं माना, तो युद्ध इज द लास्ट सॉल्यूशन जो कि हुआ। बट भगवान युद्ध को भी अपनी उपस्थिति में कराए, है ना।
जी।
ऐसा माना जाता है कि इस युद्ध में जितने भी लोग मरे, जितने भी लोग डेथ हुआ, उनको स्व शरीर मुक्ति मिला, स्व शरीर। दिस इज द लाइक द वन ऑफ द हाईएस्ट लाइक द लिबरेशन, लाइक द क्लासिफिकेशन, है ना। ये सबसे उच्च स्तर का लिबरेशन। तो उसमें जो जो लोग मरे इस आपको कर्म, क्योंकि सब लोग भगवान के सामने भगवान को शरीर को देख करके सब लोग अपना देह त्याग रहे थे, है ना। सो इसलिए भगवान ने ये सब उपाय, युद्ध जब लास्ट भी आए तो भगवान ने सारा रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी अपने ऊपर लिया और सबको मुक्ति दी। ईच एंड एवरी पर्सन हैव द लिबरेशन। तो भगवान ने उसके ऊपर कंपैशनेट ही किया, है ना, सबके ऊपर। और भगवान ने इसलिए अर्जुना को इन्वोक किया कि तुम फाइट करो फॉर द सेक ऑफ फाइटिंग, फॉर द सेक ऑफ कृष्णा, है ना। तो भगवान ने इस फाइटिंग से ऐसा नहीं कि बहुत लॉस हुआ, बहुत लोग को आपको स्पिरिचुअली गेन हुआ, क्योंकि फाइटिंग इज नॉट सच अ बैड थिंग, क्योंकि ये फाइटिंग आपको कृष्णा के प्रेजेंस में हुआ था। तो कृष्णा के
प्रेजेंस में हुआ था।
हाँ, कृष्णा की उपस्थिति में कुछ भी होगा वो हमेशा शुभ ही होगा, कभी वो खराब नहीं होगा किसी भी चीज की, है ना।
लेकिन फिर भी इस फाइटिंग में काफी कुछ अधर्म हुए जो भगवान के सामने हुए।
नहीं,
कृष्ण
अधर्म
भगवान के सामने ही काफी कुछ अधर्म भी हुए, मतलब आई मीन टू से कि जिस तरह से अभिमन्यु को मारा, या जिस तरह से
हाँ, कुछ लोगों ने किया।
मतलब और भी काफी, मतलब कहना चाहिए तो थोड़ा सा उन्होंने खेला कि उनको पता था कि मुझे कैसे जीतना है। इट कुड बी दी अदर वे अराउंड, क्योंकि उनको अर्जुन को जिताना था और सब पांडवों को जिताना था। तो काफी कुछ ऐसा हुआ जहां भगवान ने, मतलब कहना चाहिए कि ग्रेटर शायद गुड कॉज के लिए उन्होंने वो सब होने दिया।
हाँ, क्योंकि
द्रोणाचार्य का
अगेन,
हुआ या
अगेन ये भी भगवान किसी के फ्री विल में नहीं आपको इंटरफेयर किए, है ना। भगवान ने कोई अधर्म नहीं किया, ये तो आपको 100%। हाँ, कुछ कुछ लोगों ने किया, है ना,
जी।
है ना। तो फिर भगवान ने किसी की फ्री विल को नहीं आपको टच किया, और वो उसी के अकॉर्डिंगली वो पनिशमेंट भी पाया, जो जो लोग किया उसके अकॉर्डिंग उसको वैसा उसको चीजें मिला। बट फिर भी भगवान ने सारा रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी अपने ऊपर लेकर सबको स्व शरीर मुक्ति दे रहा है। तो ये मतलब वन ऑफ द वेरी रेयर फाइट में से एक था, है ना, जो आपको भगवान के सामने हुआ इन वन से। बट हाँ, अगेन भगवान ने किसी के फ्री विल को तो टच नहीं किया, तो कुछ लोगों ने अधर्म भी किया होगा, है ना, किया भी है। वी ऑल नो द अभिमन्यु स्टोरी, जो कि लोग ने रूल के अगेंस्ट, जो कि रूल था कि एक फाइटर से एक ही युद्ध करेगा, सबने मिल करके उनको मारा, क्योंकि उसको लगा कि ये आपको अर्जुन को ज्यादा पेन होगा। तो वहां पे लोग ने अर्जुन को पेन करने के लिए अभिमन्यु को मारा, राइट, कि उसका बहुत प्यारा पुत्र को हमने मार दिया।
या वो फिर उनके लिए ही था, अर्जुन के लिए था, लेकिन अभिमन्यु चला गया उस चक्कर में।
अच्छा, चला।
जो भी कह
तो
लीजिए,
लोगों ने किया, तो उसको उसके अकॉर्डिंगली उसको ये रिवार्ड मिला, है ना। बट एक चीज जान लो कि भगवान ने जो युद्ध जो बोले कि भगवान रोक सकते थे, बट भगवान ने पूरा प्रयास किया युद्ध रोकने का, विदाउट टचिंग द फ्री विल। पर युद्ध होना का था, इसलिए हुआ।
अनुज तियोतिया कुछ पूछ रहा है।
हाय अनुज।
बेसिकली वही आप इस वर्ष को बोल रहे थे, यथा इच्छसि तथा कुरु बोलने के बाद उन्होंने बोला है लास्ट में 18th चैप्टर में
18.63
यथा इच्छसि तथा कुरु, ये सब सुनने के बाद
इति ते ज्ञानम अख्यातम गुह्यात गुह्यतरम मया विमृश्यते दशेषेण यथेच्छसि तथा कुरु। बड़ा फेमस वर्ड्स है ये। कुछ लोग बोलते हैं कि मेरा भगवत गीता का फेवरेट वर्ड्स है ये। क्यों? क्योंकि इसमें कृष्ण बोल रहे हैं जो मना है वो करो। बट ये नहीं है, भगवान उसको कह रहे हैं कि जैसे अर्जुन जी ने कहा ना, कृष्णा नेवर इंटरफियर्स विद द फ्री विल ऑफ द सोल, वरना क्या आनंद नहीं आएगा ना प्रेम में। सोचो अगर कोई मैं आपके सर पे एक बंदूक रखूं और कहूं कि यू से आई लव यू, तो तुम कह दोगे आई लव यू डरते डरते, बट उसमें आनंद नहीं है ना। आनंद तब है जब विलिंगली पर्सन सरेंडर्स, है ना, कहे कि अरे मैं बाय माय ओन इंटेलिजेंस, कॉन्शियसनेस, अवेयरनेस मैं आपको सरेंडर कर रहा हूँ, तो उसमें मजा है ना उस प्रेम में। तो भगवान फोर्स नहीं करते। कृष्णा नेवर एनफोर्सेस हिमसेल्फ ऑन अदर्स। कभी भी आप नहीं देखोगे भगवान किसी को फोर्स कर रहे। बट कृष्णा गिव्स यू इंस्ट्रक्शंस कि दिस इज राइट, इफ यू दिस इज दीज आर द वेज, इफ यू टेक दिस वे यू विल रीच हियर, इफ यू टेक दिस वे यू विल रीच हियर, और अगर आप ये वे लोगे तो यू विल कम टू मी। नाउ इट्स अप टू यू विच वे यू चूज। तो इसलिए कृष्णा इज वेरी एकोमोडेटिंग, कृष्णा इज वेरी फ्लेक्सिबल, यू नो। तो ऐसा भगवान आपको और कहीं नहीं मिलेगा, इतना बढ़िया, इतना एकोमोडेटिव। हरे कृष्णा। ठीक है, अनुष्ठी होती है, तू कुछ पूछ रहा था शायद, पूछो।
नहीं, वो गलती से दब गया था।
हाँ, दब गया तो अब पूछो, अब पूछना पड़ेगा कुछ।
नहीं, कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं है।
क्वेश्चन नहीं है तो जब हो रहा है कि नहीं? फिर क्वेश्चन पूछोगे नहीं तो हम पूछेंगे फिर।
हाँ, जब हो रहा है।
सब लोगों का जब हो रहा है यहाँ पे ग्रुप में? प्रतीक, राकेश
जी
और
जी
कौन है? शुभम, रोहित,
जी कर रहा हूँ।
सब लोग जब कर पा रहे हैं हर दिन एक एक? राजकुमार?
हाँ जी,
एक ही कर पा रहा हूँ।
एक बार मिनिमम हो रहा है, एक
जी।
बार।
बहुत अच्छा, बहुत अच्छा।
ऐसे जब कर सकते थे, बट अभी थोड़ा ओवर टाइम हो गया इसलिए। बट हाँ, जब
हाँ,
तो
ओवर टाइम हो गया।
हाँ, जब प्लीज कीजिए। ये वन ऑफ द मेन बेसिस है। ये आपको कहे जैसे गाड़ी में पेट्रोल होता है ना, वैसे ही ये हमारा स्पिरिचुअल पेट्रोल है ना। जब को जितना चाहिए उतना कीजिए। आपको एक से तो स्टार्ट कीजिए, लेकिन आपको अगर बढ़ने का आपके पास स्कोप मिले तो फिर प्लीज अपना जब संख्या अपनी बढ़ाइए।
तो हम लोग सुबह को एक साथ करें ना, कुछ टाइम 15 मिनट हम लोग निकालें अपना सुबह, और
जी
सब लोग साथ करें इसी ग्रुप में, तो कैसा रहेगा? सबको हेल्प भी मिलेगा।
ठीक है।
क्या कहते हैं सब लोग? प्रतीक,
मैं
राजकुमार, मुझे जो लोग दिख रहे हैं मैं वो उनका नाम ले रहा हूँ, सभी के लिए है क्वेश्चन।
कर सकते हैं गुरु।
कर सकते हैं, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं।
थोड़ा
Good
10
idea.
10 मिनट अगर हम लोग साथ कर लें तो संगे
जी
शक्ति कलयुगे बोलते हैं ना, साथ साथ करते हैं तो ऐसा नहीं लगता अरे मैं अकेले कुछ कर रहा हूँ और कोई नहीं है ना, आई एम द टॉर्च बेरर। ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, सब लोग कर रहे हैं, है ना। तो ये एक साथ करना भी अच्छा है। तो एक टाइम अगर चाहिए तो जैसे 6:30 to 6:40 ऐसे सुबह हम लोग कर सकते हैं, या फिर 6:50 to 7, जैसा आप लोगों को टाइम अच्छा लगे। एक टाइम में सबके सब 8-10 लोग आके एक माला साथ करें एज अ यज्ञ, तो दिस विल बी वेरी प्लीजिंग टू द सुप्रीम लॉर्ड।
हाँ, तो ये फिर हर एक सैटरडे कर सकते हैं, चंदू बताओ तो।
हाँ, सैटरडे संडे कर सकते हैं। कल संडे, कल कर सकते हैं, कल सुबह।
तो कल सुबह करते हैं फिर 15 मिनट, क्यों?
जी
सब लोग आओ
बिल्कुल।
साथ में बढ़िया से।
कितना
बिल्कुल।
कितना
क्या
बजे
टाइम
सुबह?
आप लोगों को ठीक लग रहा है? 6:45 to 7 ठीक है
हाँ,
कि जल्दी है?
जल्दी
नहीं,
हो
वो
जाए।
ठीक है।
संडे,
चलिए।
अब संडे जल्दी मतलब क्या? अगर मैं 10 बजे भी बोलूं वो भी लोग कहेंगे जल्दी है।
नहीं नहीं, उठ तो जाते हैं बट नहा धो के नहीं रेडी हो पाते।
ठीक है,
मैं
तो
नहा
7:15 to 7:30।
जर्मन टाइम के हिसाब से थोड़ा जल्दी हटो।
जर्मन टाइम के हिसाब से तो राकेश है ना
2:33।
2:30 यार दिन में थोड़ा मुश्किल हो जाता है ना, दिन में थोड़ा संडे को। सुबह क्या है, सब
2:30
बीवी
है।
बच्चे सब सो रहे होते हैं तो आराम से हो जाता है, कोई कुछ
डिस्टर्बेंस।
डिस्टरबेंस नहीं, कुछ नहीं।
कर सकते
क्यों?
हैं। बता दीजिए किस समय करना है।
चलो अभी देखते हैं, फिर एक पोल ले लेंगे, फिर उसके बाद करेंगे।
ठीक है।
ठीक है,
चलो
चलो,
ठीक।
हरे कृष्ण। टेक केयर। थैंक यू
हरे
अलकेश जी, थैंक यू सो मच अलकेश जी,
थैंक यू अलकेश जी।
बहुत अच्छा
थैंक
सर।
यू, थैंक यू, हरे कृष्ण।
थैंक यू ब्रो।
हरे कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्ण।